Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Etherium. Today is the 17th of August 2018. So welcome everyone, welcome to this last trading day for this week. So where we're going to have a look at a few instruments, but before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimers. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers website, and specifically our JFD research page, where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. And yeah, I believe you can find a lot of useful stuff here for yourselves. So yep, feel free to check us out, guys. Like I said, you can find it here. But right now, let's have a look at the markets. So the first one I want to touch on is the FTSE 100. Now let's have a look at what happened yesterday. So after a week of declines, yesterday, well, Thursday, we managed to close the day here in the positive zone. As you can see, we also closed this, and the index closed above these two key levels here that we were watching. This one right here, which had recently touched the 75.10 and the 75.45. Now this was a bit of a higher one here, but it still managed to close above that one as well. So certainly this is adding a bit of positivity, if we can put it that way, towards this. I mean, but certainly overall, if we look at this picture, this is a daily chart, and if we look at this overall picture, I mean, we are now creating kind of higher lows here, lower highs here, and we are doing something like this right now. We've managed to break through this rising channel formation that the index was trading in. So at the moment, of course, we could see maybe a bit of a correction here, maybe more to the upside, but still we should be very cautious because overall, looking at this picture, the index is weak. Now for us to start looking at, and let's say looking at some longs here, and and aiming for higher levels, we would need to see a nice good break here and a close now above this downside resistance line here, where we could start positioning ourselves for higher levels. But for now, until we're going to be trading in this zone, I mean, at the moment it's still looking more bearish than bullish. So like I said, we could see something like a correction back to the upside just for a little bit, but it's also, yep, I mean, I don't think maybe could go all the way here towards this this lower side of the rising channel to be broke out of. It could probably go towards these EMAs here, showing the 50 or the 21, and then maybe reverse back down again towards the 75.45, or even actually the 75.10, and even the 200 EMA could get tested as well. So so for now, certainly be very careful with this one. Like I said, we could see a bit of a corrective move back to the upside, but still, for us, let's say if we get a nice good strong break below the 75.10 level, this could potentially open the path towards even lower levels. And the good one we're watching here is the 74.25. Let's jump into DAX quickly. So DAX is also in the kind of a more bearish zone, because even though yesterday we had this candle closing in the positive, still we are now trading below this upside support line here that has been broken on Wednesday, and certainly now we could see potentially something like this happening, where we could see maybe a test of the 12,300 level and also maybe this upside support line from which it could get rebound and move lower, or get rejected and then move lower. So something like this to keep an eye on. Certainly if we'll start breaking the 12,100 level, just if this is not going to move all this way higher here and then get rejected around there, if it for example just decides to reverse straight away, keep your eyes on this 12,100 level. I mean, a nice good break and a close below that could potentially confirm further declines, and we could maybe start aiming for this 11,795 level, which was here marked here by the low of the 4th of April. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. Certainly some good levels. Just a small mention here, suddenly let's say if we get a better move, strong move back above this upside support line, we close above this upside support line, then well, the downside could be off the table for now. Let's jump into one commodity, well, precious metal, and this is platinum. Now guys, platinum, very interesting developments here. As you can see, we've had a nice rebound yesterday. It's kind of trying to push higher here today, but overall, as you can see, we're still below this downside resistance line taken from the 26th of January. We're also below this. Now we're below this key support area that we were watching for a few weeks now. This area here between the 794 and the 799 levels, something like that, approximately there. So basically we could see further declines here, especially we could see something like a scenario, and you probably are now guessing what it could be. This could be a test of this area. As you can see that yesterday we managed to test that area again. We could potentially test this area from which, if it holds, I mean, this could potentially push this this precious metal back down again. So something to keep an eye on, and especially, like I said, keep a close eye on this area here, which is highlighted. This area could potentially act as a very good strong ceiling, from which platinum could reverse back down again. But if we see a nice good break above this and a close above this, well, I mean, this could open the path towards this downside resistance line that I was just talking about. But still be very careful, because, well, until it's broken, we could still stick to the downside, and we could see this one as a perfect opportunity for the bears to kind of start jumping in again. So something like this could be possible, guys. So for now, be very careful, and yep, continue observing this price action. Let's jump into a few pairs quickly, and oh, actually, before we jump into a pair, I really wanted to show you one crypto. And certainly, as you can see, this is the Ethereum, and so now we're trading below this kind of medium-term downside resistance line taken from around the 6th of May, the peak of the 6th of May. We can see that the recent decline was stopped here around this 250 level, so this is where it found good support. Now we can see that we have moved higher a little bit. There is a potential here for Ethereum to continue pushing higher, maybe even back all the way towards this 360 level, where it could also test this downside resistance line. Now certainly if we do get a move like this, then we should be very careful, because to be honest, until this is broken, I mean, we cannot really start looking at higher levels. But like I said, for now, just from the very short term perspective, we will be aiming for this 360 level for now. So of course, do not exclude the possibility of this one reversing back down, testing the 255 level to 250 level again, and then moving higher. But as well, something to kind of mention, if we do get a move lower here, and if we do start testing the 250 level, well, be very careful, because a nice good break and a close below this 250 level could actually open the path now towards even lower levels. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. Let me just quickly actually highlight that for future reference. So the ones that we're going to be keeping an eye on right now are the 250 level and the 360 level, which acted as a very good area of support here in the past, around the end of March. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. And like I said, be very careful. Let's jump into euro dollar, and the euro dollar is, well, seeing a bit of support from the bulls here, and we're seeing that the bulls managed to push the pair higher yesterday. And let me jump actually in a 4-hour chart, into a 4-hour chart in this one. And yesterday we managed to kind of bounce around this area that I was talking about, the 113.70. Still, as you can see right now, the pair is kind of hanging around this 21 EMA, shown here is the yellow line. So at the overall, still we're quite bearish on the pair, even though we saw some good corrective moves yesterday. But to be honest, all eyes are on these levels today, right now. To be honest, let me actually adjust this 1370 level now, because as of probably yesterday, it's becoming more irrelevant now. This is the one we're going to be keeping an eye on for today, the 113.50, something like that. So keep an eye on this level. If we do get a nice break here below this 113.50, then, well, it could open the path back down towards this, towards a possible test of the 113 level. Now, this has been the low here of this week. As you can see, it held the rate nicely from moving lower, and certainly if we get a nice break below this 113.50, this is the area we're going to be watching after that. If this decides to move back up, and of course we'll start testing the 114.100 level approximately there, then keep a close eye on the 114.30, a break of which could send this pair a little bit higher, maybe towards this 115.100 level, which as you know, recently was the lower side of the range that the pair was trading in, so for quite a while, of course. And we could maybe see a test of that level, from which maybe it could get rejected and move lower down, make its way down again. So for now, long story short, keep your eyes on these two levels, the 113.50 on the downside and the 114.10 on the upside. Let's jump into EURCHF quickly. Now, EURCHF is showing some good recovery here. Certainly we're still below this downside resistance line taken from around the 15th of July. Now, certainly it does look quite interestingly, I would say, especially from the buy side. But to be honest, for us to kind of let's say start looking at higher levels, we need to see a good confirmation break here above this 113.66 level. Or actually, let me just quickly adjust this level, to be honest, because this is the one to watch right now. And this is the high that we had here around the 13th of August. So this is approximately around the 113.60 level. So keep your eyes on that level, guys. And if we do get a nice break and a close above this level, then, well, like I said, we could start positioning ourselves for these higher levels here, especially for the 114.45, or even a possible test of this downside resistance line, like I said, taken from this around the 15th of July. Something like this could be possible, but again, if this level here, the 113.60 is going to continue to hold, then yep, we could maybe see a bit of a decline here. But to be honest, we're not going to be jumping into selling here yet, because it's a bit of a tricky one. On the buy side, maybe yes, in order to kind of drive it towards this downside resistance line. But on the sell side, well, we would need to see some better declines here in order to kind of, like I said, start examining lower levels again. Let's jump into NZDUSD quickly. Again, similar story here. Like with the euro, we are seeing a bit of correction, a bit of recovery. We're trading now. Let me just actually adjust a few levels here. So we managed to find good support around this 0.6540 level on, well, this week, and of course, this is the one that we're going to be keeping an eye on. If suddenly this reverses back down and starts breaking this level, then, well, it could open the path towards lower levels again. So yep, be very careful, guys. But to be honest, and judging by this, I mean, we're seeing that the bulls are trying to fight back here and trying to push it back above this level here, the 0.6610. If the bulls manage to do that and we see a nice good break above this level, then, well, we could start aiming maybe for this 0.6680 level, which could be a nice potential area of resistance. As you can see, it acted as a good resistance here on the 9th of August. So something to watch out for you guys, but only if we get a nice break here and a close above the 0.6610 level. And the last pair that I really wanted to touch on quickly, and that's USDJPY. And certainly not a lot of action here happening. It continues to trade sideways here in a bit of a choppy session, and of course, for now, it's even though I mean it got rejected here from this this kind of medium-term upside support line, it got rejected from underneath here, from this level, and now, to be honest, it's not really looking good. Maybe, but for us to start looking at lower levels, we need to see a good break here below this kind of tentative downside resistance line, and this is where we could maybe position ourselves for lower levels. But to be honest, for even looking like long term and going long term short on this one, we would need to see a nice good break here below this 110.10 level, approximately there. As you can see, this area acted as a good support here on the 13th of August. So we need to see a nice good confirmation break and a close below this level in order to kind of start positioning ourselves for 109.35 and then lower. But for now, because the pair is stuck here between kind of these two downside line and this upside line, and kind of it becoming a bit difficult to trade this one. But if, let's say, for the upside, if we see a nice good push above this 111.40 level, and then of course we see a move back up here above this upside support line, now this is where it could become interesting for the bulls, and we could see maybe them driving the pair a little bit higher. So for now, I would probably suggest to kind of stay very cautious here and wait for a better confirmation on this pair. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope you found it useful, and if you want to join me later on in my Traders Tea Time, and that's 13:15 GMT time, 14:15 British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much, and bye bye.